Alright guys, welcome back to Fire Emblem Warriors. Last time we met in Fire Emblem Warriors, we dealt with Leo, who thought we were kidnapping Camilla and Elise or whatever it was, so we're actually almost done with the Hoshiden arc, I mean the Norian arc, my bad, because we're actually going to be saving Xander now. Yeah, I was actually feeling really weird about finishing the week on the Leo part last week, but I mean, I only do 5 parts a week. Nothing you can do about it. So it is weird starting with this part, but what can you do? So this time, Xander doesn't even question where everyone is. I think he does question it a little bit, but he doesn't make a big deal about it. Like, he doesn't think anyone's kidnapping someone or anything like that. He just continues on. I mean, Ryoma didn't either to some extent. He did say, like, oh, could they be kidnapped by the enemy? But then he just kind of forgets about it. So, I mean, what can you do?
Very well.
But yeah, that's really all there is to this mission. It's the same exact structure as the Ryoma version that we did back in part, whatever number that was. I think part 8. But this time, there is actually a bit of a threat. There is the poison smog and the fog. But those are threats that you could just deal with immediately.
A paltry gambit.
You know, they would have probably made it if they didn't make so much noise.
How pathetic. Do you think me so easy to conquer? Onward! Destroy the Hoshidan army!
Alright.
Xander's surrounded. We need to help take out those enemies.
So this is actually... So Niles, once again, is DLC, so I'm playing as him now because, you know, if he was in the main story, it would have made sense to unlock him when we finished the Leo mission. But we also unlocked Leo, who plays exactly like Elise to some extent. I think the only major difference is their stats. Like, I think Leo's magic is slightly better than Elise's, or his resistance is better. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look up the stats, but I don't feel like doing that. Actually, I can just go to my... I have my Switch right here. I can just do that real quick. Advantage of doing post-commentary. I'm just going to turn down the volume. This is also default stats, you know. You can change the stats yourself with skills and stuff like that. So let's see here. I'm going to have to remove every skill, aren't I? Okay. Just so I know I'm working with at least a clean slate for the most part. I am kind of being unfair here because Elise is like 20 levels under Leo. But I think I can make a general guess that I'm right. Okay. So Leo is slightly better at magic by default with... hold on, let me... How much gold do I have? Not a lot. I am actually playing a video game while recording. That's kind of funny. I'm going to see if I can level up Elise to at least be close to Leo's level. Probably not, considering that I only have 300,000 gold. Or blessing. Training. Yeah. I'm just gonna guess and say they're probably about the same. If anything, I think the only thing that they're different on is their resistance. Maybe Leo just has better resistance. But this is all just assumption on my part. But I do know that the archers have more clearly different stats. Like, I can actually just look at that real quick. Let's see here. I have to once again take skills off because I need to work with a clean slate. Yeah. So all of them have different stats. I'm not going to go into each intricacy of them all. Like, I think Niles is faster. But Takumi has better strength. Sakura, I think, has better magic. Or no, better resistance. And I think Anna is just kind of a mixture of the three. Yeah, I mentioned Anna. So that's actually one thing I haven't really mentioned yet. That's actually something that I'm not going to show off here, because I have all the Anna mementos for the story mode and a few history mode maps. So Anna's mementos are basically like, if you've played Hyrule Warriors, they're the gold Skulltulas of the game. Basically what you do is, well, in the main story, all you have to do is defeat 1,000 enemies, and Anna's shop will open up, and if you interact with her, you get an Anna memento, which is a piece of an illustration for the game, related to the game. But when you're playing hard mode for story mode, there's a new condition you have to do. Like, I think one example I can think of is, like, this character can't get below 50%, or you have to capture 5 forts before this happens, you know, stuff like that. I can't remember all the conditions off the top of my head, mainly because I don't care. History modes is the same, essentially, except, you know, any map that has 2 of them would probably have a second condition, which would be pretty simple to do. Like, defeat 75 enemies with dual specials, or take 5 forts, you know, stuff like that. I have all of the mementos for the base game, but I don't have all the DLC ones yet. So yeah, that is actually something I'm slowly working on, but I don't care enough. The illustrations aren't really worth anything, you know, they're just kind of there. They do look cool. Like, there's one for they're all for the history mode, related to the history mode map. So there's one for, like, the I forgot the names. It's the Awakening one. I could just look them up. I could just look at the history mode maps. There's one for Invisible Ties, Path is Yours, Dark Pontifex, or Pontifex, sorry. I always think there's an R there for some reason. Noble Lady of Salin, Together to the End. There isn't one for the Hero Challenge, but there's also DLC ones, because there's a lot of DLC history mode maps that are related to previous Fire Emblem games. That's all the history mode maps are anyway. They're all just, like, related to previous Fire Emblem games. Like, Invisible Ties is a reference to the map where Chrom dies in Awakening. You know, it's like the penultimate map before, you know, this is where you see Chrom die. This is where the second Robin comes out. You know, spoiler alert for Fire Emblem Awakening, by the way. You know, this is where Grima awakens and all that kind of stuff. And then for Fates, you know, the Path is Yours is reference to, like, this is where you choose your path. This is the level where you choose the path you want to go for Fates. Stuff like that. You know, pretty simple stuff like that.
What is it?
But, you know, you're just going to every enemy and then defeating them by doing a certain type of battle. Like, there's timed onslaught, Princer escapes, fort protection, fort taking, timed attack. They're all pretty self-explanatory. There's even one. There's only really one type of battle I absolutely hate with a passion, and that is the arena battles. Basically, it is a one-on-one battle. It's one-on-one battles with it's a one-on-one.
Allow me to help, Lord. Very well, Niles. We shall join forces. You face us now.
My turn now.
What was I saying? But, like, the arena battles, they're one-on-one battles with elite enemies. Some of them are other characters from the game. But, like, it's so annoying because you're basically fighting enemies one-on-one, No small fry whatsoever, but also there's just a bunch of prompts that pop up all at once, so you're just standing there waiting for the prompts to end just so you can continue on. It's really boring, and honestly just really pointless, especially if you're doing it as someone like Pegasus use, like a like a flying unit or a horseback unit like Leo. You know, it's really, like, as I mentioned before, horseback users aren't really good for one-on-one combat, but they're really good for sweeping areas. If that makes sense. It is good to have him as a partner, though.
We need to hurry to Xander.
Xander's fine.
Hurry! We need to join Xander. He's surrounded.
Oh, I thought we didn't. I thought we did already. Oh, because there wasn't a cutscene. Oh, well, I just did. What is, like, going on with, the bitrate? I did a test video right before I started the Let's Play that had no problems. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's just my luck. That's whatever. Okay. Oh, yeah. So this is actually the example I mentioned earlier of if a fort falls while you're trying to take the other forts. Like this one, you're gonna have to go back and take that fort too. So unfortunately, just because I defeated Falcon Knight doesn't mean that the mission ended. I have to go back and seize that last fort. Unfortunately, that was literally just taken. Oh yeah, that's actually another reason I like horseback riders. It's actually kind of funny. Hey. Thanks, Niles. And that's it. That's the end of this mission. That was actually pretty easy. I think I had much of a more smoother time with the Hoshidan one, though, because no one took a fort.
Let me handle the introductions. We have lots of stuff to talk about.
Okay. So, yeah, once again, we're introducing ourselves to the sibling that we saved. Xander, we're not getting his Gleamstone yet. Yeah, by the way, Xander has a Gleamstone. If you haven't looked at the case, if you haven't looked at the box of Fire Emblem Warriors, then you can pretty much tell who has a Gleamstone. Yeah, that's unfortunately why I hate this game a little bit, because its story is really predictable because they kind of spoiled it with the game case. Like, the moment the Shield of Flames and Gleamstones concept was introduced, I was just like, yeah, I know where this is going. I know who exactly has a Gleamstone.
This Korin person was taken by the Hoshidan army?
Yes, one of my soldiers reported as much. We must save her at all costs.
The other half of our party should be nearby. If we regroup with them, we can ask for their help with the search for Korin.
I see. May I ask a favor of you then? Take Camillo, Leo, and Elise with you. We know too little of this world, and I'm sure they'll learn much traveling with you. They'll also be able to help search for our sister.
But what about you, Xander?
I will continue to command our army and do what I can to search for Korin.
So this is actually, since Xander and Ryoma both are splitting up, guess what's going to happen? Xander and Ryoma are going to fight, making a recreation of Fate's cutscene. I can't remember which one. I think it's like the first cutscene in the game.
Hoshidan fools who dare take my sweet Korin away.
Every hair on my body stood up the way she let that sentence trail off.
Camp is going to be
No, I forgot Owain was here.
Up with the others, that's for sure.
It sure will. I hope they've got good news for us, too.
Oh, this is going to be real awkward. Oh, boy. I kind of feel bad for Niles, because he's like 20 levels under the youngest character in the party. Because Elise, I don't know how old Elise is, but she's gotta be pretty young. I know Camilla's the oldest out of... Okay, Xander's the oldest out of the Norians, and Ryoma's the oldest out of the Hoshidans. But I'm pretty sure Camilla's the second oldest, with Leo right behind her, and Elise, like, way behind. I think it's the same. I think it's kind of the reverse for... I think it's the same for Hoshidans, where Hinoka's the oldest, other than Ryoma, and then Takumi, and then Sakura. But I don't think Sakura's as way behind as Elise is, because Elise looks like she's fucking 8 years old, but... that is a topic for another day. So the next time we meet in Fire Emblem Warriors, we're going to be doing one more. There's actually 2 more maps related to the Fates arc. So we're not done with Fates, but we're kind of in the Revelations period of Fates. So see you guys next time for more Fire Emblem Warriors, and take care.